Hello, everyone. You're on SK Live. I'm your host, Indranil Basu. Today, we have a very special guest, the former team director of Pune Warriors, the IPL team, which doesn't exist anymore, but he is a very relevant person, Mr. Abhijeet Sarkar. Sir, welcome to SK Live. How are you?
Absolutely fine, Indranil. What about you? How are you
I'm
doing?
absolutely, couldn't have been better. And good to catch up with you on a Sunday evening. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. I must appreciate your this noble initiative of SK Live. It's doing very well.
No, absolutely. It's anything to do with sports is going to do well. That's the power of sports. It unites people so strongly, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So IPL is about to start, and it's been so many years that Pune Warriors last played IPL. It was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me something. What was those excitements? Those days, when before a series, before the tournament season would start, what kind of excitement used to be there, and how the teams used to prepare. Obviously you played all the versions in India in 2011, 12, and 13. But tell us
Yeah.
those stories about how it used to all start.
Look, as you know that we were already associated with cricket for the last more than I think 12 to 13 years. We being the sponsor of the team and we and I was the first to get initiated into the, if you can call it a sports event, international sports event, the first international sports event, the India Pakistan Sahara Cup series in Toronto.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
naturally, having experienced that I can discuss with you later on. As you were asking about IPL, naturally it was a very gratifying and extraordinary experience. Being a sponsor, dealing with the cricketers, that's a different ball game. And here in the IPL, the accountability becomes absolutely different. You have to select the team, you have to organize the tournament, you have to look after the hospitality, you have to look after the administration, the security, everything, all under one roof, 360-degree communication, and you have to do the tournament in a fantastic manner so that the the stadium is full, people enjoy it, people go back happy. And if you are asking about interesting anecdotes, so what I can recall initially, what I can recall now is that look, as you know, our coach first we selected our coach as Job Marsh and Dermot Reeve, and so after the selection proper selection procedure, so first year what happened, we selected a very good team. As you know that we had a very good team under the captainship of Yuvraj Singh, and then Angelo Matthews got injured. So when he got injured, so naturally that year I think Chris Gale was not bought in the auction.
Mm.
So it came in my mind when you did a conference call with the coach, both the coaches, and our manager who were associated with us, everybody together. So naturally, the name came was why not taking Chris Gale as a replacement for Angela Matthews?
Yeah.
I'm talking about 2011.
Yeah.
And then Geoff Marsh immediately opposed it. He said, he put his foot down. No, no, he's not a disciplined guy. He will make the atmosphere of the team very bad. It will be very difficult to control the team. I don't think we should take Chris Gale, and I am not in favor of taking the Chris Gale. We tried to convince him, but he was nothing doing. He said, no, I am not interested in taking Chris Gale. That was our first year. So we had to abide by the instruction or whatever suggestion of uh, Jeff Marsh. So, and he said that I will bring a very bright cricketer who will be a coming star. That person's name is James Faulkner. If I am not making a, I think first name is James only. I think Faulkner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Bob. Yeah.
Faulkner. So, although he selected a very nice guy, no doubt the replacement of Angelo Matheus was James Faulkner, but he was too young. It was too fresh. Ultimately, in future, he became a star. So we became a breeding ground for good cricket, good
Absolutely.
international cricketers.
Yeah.
and mm, uh, and then Gale not coming with us, and it went to RCB. Rest is history that you have seen. Another interesting anecdote. Next year, 2012, again we wanted to have needed a replacement. Somebody got indisposed and injured. I think it was a West Indian cricketer. So the name and the most interesting twist of this is that we wanted a all-rounder, spinning
Yeah.
all-rounder.
Yeah.
So the all of a sudden, I think I read the news, and it came in the discussion. It nobody was somebody was saying all sorts of name was coming up. Then he said when the discussion when we had the meeting, all of a sudden it came in my mind that why not Steve Smith? And he bowls leg spin also. He's a spinning all rounder. And we took ultimately Job Marsh. Maybe he has a weakness for the Australian cricketer. So he said, yes, yes, yes. Why not Steve Smith? And Steve Smith came. Ultimately, he captained the team also. And he became a hero of the IPL from our team only. So Chris Gale, missing Chris Gale, he became a superstar of IPL. Rest is history. Faulkner came to us, but ultimately he became a popular international cricketer after Pune Warriors. Then Steve Smith ultimately went on to captain the Australian team. He became a superstar. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, before when we selected him, he was sitting in the sidelines in the dugout with I think RCB or Deccan, wherever he was playing. RCB, I think. We selected him. He After that it was Bhuvneshwar Kumar was a revelation, and everybody was talking about Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Another cricketer, although he didn't stay for long, Rahul Sharma, he became a superstar. He became a very popular cricketer from IPL or from our team. So there are lots of interesting anecdotes out there. So naturally, we missed out on Gale. We selected Steve Smith. So although we were a very good team, but by the time we were able to settle down, we exited in 2013,
Yes.
and all the even the young cricketer it was a good combination of good international cricketers. It was Raj Singh, later on Angelo Matthews came over, Steve Smith, Michael Clark. We even selected Michael Clark. That also he was not so successful, I think, being a Australian captain. And then, as you know, uh, the ultimate selection was we tried the the captain who changed the scenario of Indian cricket, that's Saurabh Ganguly.
Yeah.
But
We'll come to that.
ultimately,
We'll come to that later. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so,
So, but sir, every team has a story. Even Delhi is also Delhi Capitals that time. I mean, that time it wasn't Delhi Capitals; it was Delhi Daredevils. So they also have a story. It was a perfect grooming ground for a lot of young cricketers who came and made names. A lot of cricketers who made really big in IPL, they played for Delhi, and they couldn't retain those players. Though every franchisee had their story, but probably,
yeah,
uh,
Praveen Amre was our batting coach, and then
of course,
ultimately he went and joined Delhi after we exited, and
absolutely.
then yeah,
Yeah, so coming to we generally see it from a distance that IPL is a 3 month event, and after that, throughout the year, no work is happening from the franchisee point of view, which is not true. You have a lot of paperwork, a lot of coordination, a lot of talking to the coaches, a lot of programming, a lot of planning goes in. I mean, can you run us through what all things happen throughout the year? We see the glossy part of it, which is the IPL. When the TV is on, when you switch on the TV, you see IPL, you're happy, but what goes in the background, the endless meetings, meetings going into late night, late hours, a lot of sacrifices happen. I mean, can you tell us some of the stories when you had to really brainstorm into बहुत time laga, or you had to reach out to a decision, and you actually did, and any memorable thing you can recall?
there are lots of interesting anecdotes and memories because look, we before that we were sponsoring the Indian cricket team. More or less, all the cricketers knew us, but we came first year when we bidded because we were asked not to bid because we were told that you are late. Otherwise, we would have what the figure which came over in the bid. We had also, if we would have been permitted to bid, we would have got Calcutta.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were in the first year, we were refused on the objection of other franchises that we were late. So anyway, we missed out. The next time when we came over, the it was a fierce fight, and naturally lots of speculations were going on, and everybody wanted us to be there. That we being in cricket for so long and being very popular in the cricketing fraternity, even amongst the board people as well as the cricketers, everybody was pursuing that you must come because the way you take care of the cricketers, with the way you take care of the sports persons, we want you to be there. And I think, unfortunately, we were not, but I think they were sure that our team, when we come with our team will be very successful. I'm not talking about the organizing part, I'm talking about the playing part. So then we ultimately, it was quite a tough bidding because I had the experience of bidding for the cricket team because we initially after 2001 we participated in two bids and we outbidded all the top players
For the
and
jersey, for the jersey
top ranked.
sponsorship. Yeah.
So on that basis, on that calculation, this calculation process is quite. You have to calculate, you have to anticipate what the other team may bid, and then you have to bid it. So then ultimately we took the plunge, we won the bid, and Pune was selected because there is a lots of student crowd, and we had, I think, in the IPL also we had the largest gate money because all the matches were more or less full. There was not that only Mumbai Indians and Kolkata Knight Riders and Delhi Sehwag. They were not only playing these three. Other matches, RCB was at, um, and the fourth team which had crowd was RCB. But after that, the organizing, when you have to you have to look after the entertainment part, you have to look after the ticketing part. Our difficulty was we waited for Pune, but our ground was not ready. So till the last moment, we were still not sure where to play. So it was lots of tension. We tried to convince the board. It was on the initiative of our naturally. Our honorable chairman also said no, we can take care of the stadium and develop the stadium, build the whatever is left. We can help it out. But ultimately, that match was happened in TY Patil at the last moment. So that put lots of pressure on us, and during that period, the way we have to, I mean, being that look, the team management or the cricket team management is also concerned wherever their team is playing, how is the pitch? You are yourself a cricketer, that is a very important factor. So if whenever you are going for the auction in
Mm.
any team, even if it is RCB, even if it is Kolkata Knight Riders, even they select few players, certainly few players who are according to the requirement of the pitch. So first year, naturally, the team was selected. We had an idea what sort of pitch. The coach went there and saw the pitch and discussed with the curator, Daljit Singh, and all that. So then they, no, not Daljit Singh, Mr. Salgaonkar, sorry. So then he said that accordingly, then we worked on some of the players and we got those players. But that created lots of. I'm talking about the hindrances which we created, which we was created, and then there are permissions which you have to get, and the synergy with the players, the player security, when the hospitality, when there are people on both the sides, you have to build hospitality enclosure for your home team and away team. Then the whole organizing of uh, the ticketing part, you have to that the people are coming or not, the promotion part. So there are lots of aspects, and you can say that IPL is the, because we also I organized the event in Saraka for 3 years at a stretch. I had that experience that we were able to manage it better, but there was not so much stress for us. But IPL is, I can say that it's a complete event. If somebody at that point of time, let me tell you now, things are far more professionalized. The broadcasters are also professionalized. There were even the whenever you are going for a resource also, if you are going for a trainer, if you are going for a physio, that I think at that point of time they were far more expensive than now, because there is league all over all over the world now, and at that point of time IPL, they were thinking they wanted to mint money. So the support staff were, I feel that at that point of time, the support staff was far more expensive than now.
Yeah,
Like managing the players, managing the organizing the event, all these things were at that point of time. You have to manage it in a far difficult manner than now, because now everything has become settled down now, far more systematic, and but naturally the the people at that point of time, the way they used to earn, that earning resources have also come down. We earned better sponsorship money at that time than now. Although the broadcasting revenue with the teams who are there since 2008, they are earning, they are now at profit. But we being late, we late arrival, all the teams who came in 2011 incurred huge losses. So there was a imbalance of that also. So you have to look after that aspect also, that because naturally there was a friction. The BCCI has gone back on the promise of, because we bid it for 93 matches, they came down to 63 matches, then the money should have come down. So that's a different story. So the loss factor was also coming in the picture. So lots of things we have to keep in mind. We managed to organize a very good team
yeah,
of very good stars. We brought in the best of the players. Lots of players developed themselves and ultimately were able to represent their respective countries also, and they are now still doing well. But
absolutely.
I think the team didn't perform up to their potential.
So I mean that's part of the game. You can't do much about it. It's a lot of lot of luck factor does work
Yeah, yeah. Look,
in T20.
you were there, and you were the first to question. Now, when the first year Yuvraj was there, then second year Saurav Ganguly came, third year Steve Smith came. We tried all the options. Look, you nowadays, that point of time, maybe the owners were not too much involved, except what I have heard about Mumbai Indians. But we gave totally free hand to the dugout team, the coach. But if then it was their responsibility to bound the team together. But I think I can say now that they were not that. Look, Jeff Marsh is one of the greatest coaches I have heard. Number three, the way he gave the presentation, good potential. We selected our good Indian cricketers, but I don't know what was the reason. But the team didn't perform.
But I've Abhijit sir, बहुत लोगों से मैंने बात किया over the years, and they've said one thing. A lot of Indian cricketers, they think playing that time, that those 5 6 years, initial 5 6 years, they thought playing in IPL is a lot more pressure situation for them rather than playing international cricket, because there is constant badgering, constant जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं दखल अंदाजी ओनर के
Interference.
यस इंटरफेरेंस ये होता था. और बहुत क्रिकेटर्स हैव टोल्ड मी पर्सनली, लॉट ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेटर्स कि ड्रेसिंग रूम में जाके दे विल डिस्कस द स्ट्रेटजीज एंड विल यू शुड हैव प्लेड दैट शॉट. ये सब होता था इनिशियल डेज में. क्या आप
One thing
इससे
I would like to tell, one thing, it's my observation.
या
Like if you take the instance of Gary Kirsten, take the instance of Ravi Shastri, take the instance of John Wright,
या
there is one boss,
या
and the boss, people follow the boss, and then like Saurav Ganguly came and changed the whole picture of the Indian cricket and Indian team and the approach of the Indian players and all that. Saurav Ganguly was the boss. Coach was the coach was the boss. Whenever what happens in this structure, when we were talking about interference, whenever the setup becomes too democratic, if you, I also sat in the team meetings. I just for the sake of observation, whenever after 1 or 2 matches, when the team starts failing, then the setup becomes, then the coach, sometimes if the coach is very confident, put his foot down, look, I don't care, I'm still confident the team is bound to perform well. Or sometimes what the coach does the mistake is he starts become democratic in the way, acha, okay, captain, tell me, what is your opinion? Then from the captain to the other senior most player in the team, the senior most player to the others, uh, other popular player in the team. If 3 or 4 opinions comes in, then naturally there is, it's a psychological impact of the other players because all the players are sitting in that team meeting. If I strongly feel what I have heard, those teams have performed well. If, for example, if Mumbai, Rohit Sharma is the boss, whatever Rohit Sharma, if whenever Mumbai didn't perform well, there were multiple responsibility of multiple coaches.
Yeah.
Maybe we also tried, but and we tried to be a bit democratic also, because so that we were lots of eminent cricketers, although in between Yuvraj went away because of his health issues. But whenever the team starts failing, and he starts taking the opinion of different from the manager and other players around, then the I think the focus gets diverted.
Oh,
We
okay.
had we have the best T20 bowler, Ashish Nehra,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely.
But
No doubt about it.
if by one match he played badly, next match, but because we don't have, we are, I was the director of the team, but I was not, as a rule, we didn't interfere. Maybe in some teams where the team owners interfere, maybe they have performed well. The
Yeah.
coach decided, maybe, and 1 or 2 matches, Nehra was dropped also. So it's my opinion, my personal opinion, I'm saying. I may have not agreed with it. So whenever you become democratic setup, or then if naturally, if the team start performing badly, and if the owner is investing so much, they will also seek for answers, and they will ask questions. So then for that, the coach has to be sure, I am being the team director, I will answer, but I can answer on behalf of the whatever the team management is telling me,
Yeah.
what players are performing, because we had the best support staff, best players, Praveen Amre, Dharmatrip, all the best bowling. And the South African bowler, Alan Donald, was our bowling coach. What more do you need? Best batting, the fielders, and all, they were good fielders, like Robin Uthappa being Robin Uthappa and Manish Pandey. Manish
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pandey, we, after lots of tussle, I bought it from RCB.
Yeah.
RCB also wanted it, ultimately he came to our team. He, in bits and pieces, they played, but ultimately after our exit, both of our the stars of IPL, Manish Pandey became a national player, started playing for the
Yeah.
national team. Robin Uthappa became an IPL star.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, whatever, you being a cricket expert, then it's better for you to analyze. I also have seen, right, for being with 25 years of cricket experience. So, but I would like to reserve my opinion. But yeah, what I mean to say, I hope you understand.
Yes. But we have seen in the past, and what we've seen in the past, from what we've seen, one thing is certain: you need to have only one boss in the team. We've seen the success story of Chennai Super King. We've seen the success story of Mumbai Indians, as you rightly mentioned. Rohit is the boss. So, captain should be the boss, and there should not be anyone trying to supersede the captain by saying stuff which you shouldn't be saying. If you are not an expert, you haven't played for India, you haven't played at the highest level, keep your opinion to yourself. I mean, everyone is an expert. Why cricket sells so much? Because it generates so much of opinion. I know, even
And there should be accountability. If the captain is not performing, if Ravichandra Ashwin is not performing, and if he's being, then the owner and the coach has the right to ask. And then if he's saying no, now if you are not performing as a captain, we want to change you. So they have the right. What happens then? If that happens, then the lobbying starts. So that is at the cost of the owner. That is certainly not appreciable.
So, but it's not. It's next to impossible to perform in every game, especially
Of course,
T20. It's
I
not
totally
possible at
agree.
all.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about as a captain, not
yeah,
because I'm not, I'm nothing against Ravichandran Ashwin, but I'm talking about the way he was changed and there was a dissatisfaction in that particular franchisee. Lots of people I know them because all of the franchisee people are my friends. But that whenever you want, like if you have selected a team and if there is a reset, there should be a synergy between the captain and the coach. And if
absolutely.
that synergy goes away, then and if lobbying happens, then the team suffers.
Say 2011, our former Indian captain, who is obviously been played a huge role in changing the face of Indian cricket, and is Saurav Ganguly. He was unsold at the auction, and then Sahara bought him outside the
It was
auction.
2012. 2011 was Yuvraj was the captain. 2012 we bought him and
Okay.
ultimately made him the captain.
No, I think 3 years he played for Kolkata Knight Riders.
Yeah.
Then next team was
2011 he was not bought in the option if I am right. And
Sahara
2012,
bought Saurav out of, I mean, after the auction got over. I remember. So, what was
yeah.
the strategy of getting Saurav Ganguly? Did you have a strategy to buy? Why didn't you buy it at the auction? Why outside the auction?
Because there was a discussion when we sat and our owners were also there. So there was a ultimately because there was the coaches in the coaches report also and in sport the team management report also there was dissatisfaction about the as far as the team performing there may be fault maybe at that point of time because Yuvraj came just after the World Cup. He was not. He tried his best. He performed whatever in according to his health limitations. He tried to
Yeah,
perform
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
So, but by the end of the year, the ultimate whatever we came to know the shocking revelation about his health. So we thought, and then Yuvraj gone because ultimately we selected Yuvraj as the captain for the next 3 years. Maybe we felt that next after one year, maybe second year he will settle down. And we must give right to the captain for 1 year. Then second year we must give him right that he becomes he will settle down next year. So there was a in the team selection. After that, the players which we selected was Robin Uthappa, Angelo Matthews, Steve Smith was not so. He was just coming up and all that. So we ultimately their suggestion was we needed a team being there such a seasoned man, and you Saurabh kept on telling me, being a good friend of me and other people also that I still have cricket in me, and who better than Saurabh to bind the team together to motivate. We thought why not bring him
That was a master stroke, by the way. That was a master.
that we
Stroke.
will make him the captain, let him play, and ultimately we will make him take over as the coach also.
He was the
Ultimately, call
mentor. He was the mentor.
the mentor. I am
Not
talking
the
about
team
not
player.
the mentor or come captain.
Yeah.
So whenever required, he will play. Whenever not required, he will be directly involved in the team selection and coaching because we already had batting coach. Alan Dolan was there. Praveen Amri was there. So with that responsibility, we brought him there, and I think no doubt he played. That was as I told you that when we went to Kolkata,
Yeah.
the whole stadium. If you have a picture, you can see it. The whole stadium was full of Pune flags. There was
Yeah.
none Night Riders flags, and we played well. I think they was settled out for a quite a low score, and Saurabh was also going great guns, but by I think there was a good catch by a fielder. I don't remember the fielder, and we lost by very few runs after that in that match. But that was the popularity of Saurabh, that Pune Warriors going and playing in. That is the beauty of IPL. that Pune was going and playing in Kolkata. The whole Kolkata was supporting Pune Warriors, not Kolkata Knight Riders. And wherever we were going, we were being welcomed. After that, we played a match also with Shahrukh Khan 11 and our team and all that for fun's sake and all that. Till the end, the crowd was there, full wooden garden, with our clothing, our T-shirt, because we distribute as per our marketing uh, procedure in the IPL. We used to distribute our T-shirts also to our supporters. We we were overwhelmed that there was so much demand of our T-shirt on that day. So
No,
that
that
was a
was
unique.
quite a unique match. In fact, it almost became a national debate. Whom are you going to support, KKR or Saurav Ganguly 11? That
Yeah,
was the
it was unique, man. The whole news fraternity, the sports fraternity, they were absolutely wonderstruck. What is this happening? In Kolkata, an outside team is coming and playing, and they are not getting support, and Pune Warriors is getting support. And it was a quite tough match. The match was not one sided. We lost by, I think, 10 or 12 runs. I don't remember. I think that was the score.
I was talking to one of the senior journalists, Mrs. Ashish Shukla. He said a lovely thing about Saurav Ganguly. As a captain, if he wanted Harbhajan Singh ahead of Kumble, he backed Harbhajan. I mean, he gave everything to ensure Harbhajan was playing. If he wanted Rahul Dravid to keep wickets, I mean, Rahul Dravid was, I mean, what a batsman.
Look, one
He
thing
ensured he was playing to be in
Indrajit,
ODI.
sorry to interfere.
Yeah,
One thing I would like to say that I'm very lucky and fortunate to participate in the team meet because I was not permitted to participate in. Naturally, I cannot be being a sponsor. I cannot participate in the national team meeting. Although I was fortunate to be the Indian dressing room after India won the World Cup in 2011. That's a different story because of Dhoni. But being part of team meetings and seeing the motivational address of Jock Marsh, Dermot Reeve, Saurav Ganguly, Michael Clark, Steve Smith, Praveen Amre, Alan Donald, it's a huge experience. You can imagine you are you are also a cricketer, as I know. It's the way I used to just sit and hear them, the way I used to address the team members, set apart the performance part, but the way they used to address the players, because Saurabh Ganguly, who turned around the face of Indian cricket, addressing the team, I'm sitting there and hearing him out. I think I call myself very fortunate.
no,
That
it's,
was
it's
and Michael
really
Clark, Indian Australian captain, Indian former Indian captain Saurabh Ganguly, and the former Sri Lankan captain Angelo Matthews, Steve Smith, Yuvraj Singh, Geoff Marsh, Praveen Amre, Alan Donald. So this, I think, it's a huge experience, a very gratifying experience.
but it was really gratifying to see also to see to when we got to know that Sara will pay that the player's fee to Yuvraj when he came back after that winning that battle. That challenge. He came back from the US and he went to the ground. I remember, and Sara still, I mean, they said we will continue to pay his salary. It doesn't matter whether he's playing or not. So that's
That's
the
the
love.
that I must say. That's the uh, greatness of our chairman, Shubhatura Sahara, and he stood by the sportsmen wherever they required. If you not only Yuvraj Singh, I'm taking the instance of Jugraj Singh, the one of the one of the greatest track flickers of Indian hockey.
Yeah.
He got injured in his knees and he was rushed to, he was in Punjab, I think. And overnight he was asked if he is not picked up from Jalandhar to Delhi,
Yeah.
he'll playing, uh, he cannot play further. So then uh, we sent the helicopter there. He flew by the helicopter, came overnight to By evening, he landed in Delhi. He was operated upon, and he came back playing for India, although not for long. That injury really affected his game. Now he's an SP in Punjab. Still remembers us, and so whenever that's why in we supported around more than 100 sports person, and our money was channeled through the federation right to the grassroots level for the players to develop themselves, so that they don't think that how to generate their next meal. So when we supported, you asked the game from, naturally cricket was there, hockey was there, badminton was there, archery was there, shooting was there, wrestling was there. We supported during the Pre-Ranjan Das Munsi period, the football, IFA. We supported IFA. We, and that point of time, Mr. Our, being the former minister, Mr. Rathore, after winning the medal, the first place we welcomed him, and the first place he came was to Lucknow. So Gagan Narang, Abhinav Bindra, the we changed the scenario of being celebrity management in sports was only cricket, and in cricket also and other games we changed in that way. Why I'm saying that? Today cricket means Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virat Kohli, to an extent retired Sachin Tendulkar, here and there maybe Saurabh Ganguly
You're
alone.
missing Rohit Sharma's name. He won't be happy.
Rohit Sharma, I saw Rohit Sharma, sorry, Rohit Sharma. That point of time, even Ravindra Jadeja was earning, Ravichandra Ashwin was earning, there are Manish Pandey. All the we took some cricketers who had bright future to help them develop themselves, and then around 100 athletes in archery, Deepika Kumari, Atanu, then around 15-20 shooters. We had gradations for them in badminton, Saina Nehwal, Sindhu, Shrikant, then in football, in IFA, we promoted the whole IFA to because nobody was supporting IFA. Then we supported the IFA to develop the football there. So we tried to we initiated the first concept of reaching reaching the grassroots level of sports to develop the sports from Ranchi to Dhanbad to Kerala, so that sports is developed and sports is nurtured amongst the youngsters, and money reaches there. For I was instrumental. I take I am proud to take that credit in bringing in Mahendra Singh Dhoni in hockey. He got involved with the Ranchi hockey team. I was managing the marketing and running the show. He was naturally the owner of the team. In Ranchi, when you go, that team is to go. There was rivalry to the extent as if you are coming and seeing an India-Pakistan match. There were 10,000 people in the stadium, and there was 15,000 shouting out loudly and hoarsely outside supporting their team. Unprecedented. When you will get, you'll adrenaline will go high the way you will see the crowd in Ranchi
Yeah,
for hockey. So we are uh, that I'm talking about, that hockey franchisee part. So we tried to make, like, we got to bring glamour in hockey. We requested respected Amitabh Bachchan ji. He came and spoke in the media supporting hockey. But anyway, cricket being a religion, cricket is the ultimate. Cricket, nobody was able to reach, was fortunate enough to reach to that level, because maybe lack of support from the public, from the broadcasters, and not so much lucrative leagues like IPL.
absolutely. And for 13, 14 years that you were responsible in managing the Indian team jersey. So tell us something. How did BCCI, that time during that time, how did BCCI treat its sponsor?
It's a tricky question for BCCI. It was in that time, it was always the BCCI, not the sponsor. Although I developed very nice friendship with lots of good people that point of time. It was I have seen the greatness of Sharad Pawarji. I take an instance that uh, two instances I can give you. One instance is uh, Sharad Pawarji, huge, big man. I am a very small man, being the person who is representing Sahara, dealing the marketing and visibility aspect, the how is it being everything, the branding aspect of Sahara. So if there is any dissatisfaction, I was the first person to react to the BCCI officiandos and all that. So there was some friction which I had with at that point of time. The whole soul was Mr. Lalit Modi, great man, no doubt about it. Nothing personal against him, but just I'm telling you that of course there were people who were really the way they were committed to sports, in spite of being there, having other huge responsibilities. The way instantly they used to pick up the phone and respond. There was a match India was playing Ireland, and that all in midnight around 2 o'clock, I get a call that in a light gray and grayish blue T-shirt, the branding was in white. The other, it should have been in reverse black, so that Sahara, the name should have get highlighted in that way. The branding was, it was killing the branding. I Nobody was picking up. I think I came to know that
BCCI didn't
uh,
consult the sponsor.
maybe because at that time there was some mistake. Maybe this I generally consult the sponsor, because the naturally the clothing sponsor was different, and we were the team sponsor. Maybe that was a mistake on the part of the clothing sponsor. It was not the. I will not say that it was totally a mistake at that point of time. They always used to show the T-shirt. This time, because it was not a big series, it was a very small series. Maybe that mistake happened. So I came to know Mr. Pawar is abroad. So he said, they said you can call him. I called him. He picked up the phone and immediately said, "Yeah, Acha, this has happened. You don't worry. By tomorrow, if it doesn't happen, let me know." By afternoon, next afternoon, I got a call from his office. Maybe not the next match. We are trying to rectify it by the next match. The or the third match, it will be rectified. It was not required of him to respond to me personally. Then he made it a point again. He called me. I hope you are happy. There was this type of professional people who were so committed, and Mr. Pawar, there was no need for a great man like Pawar to call me and make it a point that this has been done or not. But other aspects, the taking care of the sponsors, tickets, and all that, that was always BCCI. When you will be surprised that amount of investment we had, and as per the although due to my relationship, they they helped us because we had a long-term relationship with BCCI. But at that point of time, you will be surprised that I think, as far as I know, the tickets we were want to get was 5 and 10 from that
At home,
at home per match.
5 and 10, which is 15. Only 15
Five and
tickets.
15 tickets, yeah. I think the different categories together. Ultimately, that for that also I had to fight and get it done. So in that case, if you can call it that, you know, it was always the. I think it was always BCCI all over the place. Although there were people like Naka Shetty and Shashank Manoharji and of course during Mr. Dalmia's time, Mr. Dalmia. But it was not in the contract. They were following the traditional contract which was coming for years, that there was 5 tickets. They cannot change it. We have to go in the GB or executive meeting and decide. You don't worry, you sign the contract, we will take care. For example, in the as per the contract, I don't know now what is happening. The sponsor was not supposed to get tickets when the matches are happening abroad. But of course, due to my relationship, I got it. They took good care whenever we required. But that was not in the contract. So these were the things which were discrepancies in the contract. which maybe they have taken it later on, because I have, like the last, when I won the last bid, I objected to it, and I think they increased the tickets amount, but that was not also very substantial.
But BCCI has been quite, quite okay as far as distributing passes and match.
Yeah,
They've
beyond
been very
not through
generous.
the Cox paper, but
Yeah,
whenever required, they were ready to provide help us.
absolutely.
But
The
they were
sponsors,
ready to. There were
always,
people. There were
yeah.
visible people who were accountable.
But it was really surprising one fine day. You have in '83 after the team came back, there was no money to be paid to the champion cricketers, and Lata Mangeshkar, she did a concert, and BCCI gave a sort of long-standing assurance that for every cricket match, international match held at home, you'll be getting a certain amount of tickets, and there were elements in within BCCI who wanted to stop that quota, and show disrespect to a legend like Lata Mangeshkar. BCCI had elements like that also in the past, but
Yeah,
what
there were good people. No, look, let me tell you to the point, because I'm being associated with now different in the Indian Olympic Association, and now in the organizing part of the sports also. I think uh, maybe you are about to ask the question or not. I don't know, but I will come to the point, because this question is raised a lot. That the sports can be the sports management can wherever sports associations, not management have done for 25 years, that of course required professional expertise and exposure, no doubt about it. But the question which is being raised, maybe have been raised by you as well, that the associations also has should be run by the sports persons. I don't completely agree with that. That all the biggest sports organizers, yeah, won Antonio Samaranch or Pierre Coubertin or whomsoever, they were not sports person. Maybe they have played sports, but they were not national level player. If you national level players or performers, if you say that if you required a sports person, what about Michel Platini? Michel Platini was a player when he was exposed to a scandal
yeah,
and he was removed. So, but how professionally it is being done? Of course, the corporatization of sports is required, and there are, I know there are people there who are, maybe they are not very much qualified. There are whole timers of sport, like you are party whole timers in political parties. There are whole timers in sports who are associated with Olympic, because of being an Olympic institution of I being an Uttar Pradesh Olympic Institution senior vice president and being an elected member of Indian Olympic Association. I have done seen this closely, prime stage by stage, sponsoring, organizing, and now part of the association. Being, of course, after being properly offered, then I got into it. What I felt is that it is not that the players come and everything will change. There are people who are committed. You need sports. From my point of view, I want to today suggest a new thing, because I have seen them, and that sports organizing also needs full timers, sports professional, either it's CEO or the is managers. Like you are from Calcutta, I am forgetting the name. You will tell the name. Either East Bengal Cup Club or Mohan Bagan or Mohammedan. There are one or two people who are whole timers there. That's why they were so committed, and the club is to take care, and that's why the club is to perform.
yes,
That Indian sports also need whole timers who will eat, drink, and sleep sports. There are people, but we are not taking proper care of them. Just because that person has not played, that doesn't mean he doesn't understand sports. The person who was a football, you will take, I am not forgetting the name, this Bengal manager, a football manager. He was not an eminent footballer of Mohan Bagan or East Bengal and Mohammedan Sporting, who used to always travel with the team, crazy about the team, the way he used to motivate the players. I am forgetting the name of the people, I'm not coming in my mind. Same way in other sports also, there are people who in from Manipur to like the Sikkim and wherever it is. But in Manipur, which has become a nurturing ground of good star footballers, there is a committed whole timer coach there who I'm forgetting again. I'm not able to recall the name, who has created these footballers, but we have not able to nurture them and encourage them. So we need, if the political parties can have old timers who the party takes care. If it cannot, I agree. Sports need corporatization to big corporate honchos. Sports needs money, but if a person becomes IOA president, state Olympic Association president, and or a secretary, maybe not his president is not all the time not required. Secretary. If he's has other responsibilities, he will not give it full time to that association. The person, and that is the one particular post should be assigned to the person, either is a sports person or not sports person, who is a whole timer giving 100% time to that sports federation. Then only I know that leads to manipulation of money, and that has happened so many places. But that we have to take care. That's the administrative safeguards you have to take. But if you don't have full timers in sports, just by pouring in money will not do anything. Today, in I think Mr. Ajay Singh has come in shooting or wrestling. I'm forgetting.
Boxing, I think.
No, boxing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. But a person, he has other responsibilities. He's supporting. But there has to be a person who is all time, who is constantly looking after the federation.
Yeah.
Same way, this thing, if we let's not go into the debate कि अरे भाई स्पोर्ट्स खिलाड़ियों को ले आइए तब, not necessary. It's not necessary. If there is a whole time a person who is professionally organizing, committed towards that sport has to develop. If Pulela Gopichan can create from one academy with Sindhu, Saina, Srikant, Satvik
So
Reddy,
many, so many of
that,
them, actually. Yeah.
so many people. Like in Babu Banarsi Das Academy in Lucknow, that when he passed away, Akhilesh Das, he poured his own money because he was himself a player. And there were people who were, he used to say that, okay, because I was also very close to him. So he used to say, I have to take the other people who, there used to people who used to come and sit. The people said, sir, ये क्या जानता है स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में? तो वो ही used to say, चुप रहो, वो नहीं जान क्या जानता है, वो 24 घंटा वो सोता जीत जाता सोता सब चीज वो स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में सोचता है. तो हम इसको नहीं एनकरेज करेंगे, तुमको देंगे, तुम्हारे पास तो टाइम ही नहीं, तुम आओगे चाय पियोगे ओपिनियन देके चले जाओगे. तो जो फेंस सिटर्स विल नॉट do any good for sports. Mr. Dalmia gave at one point of time, you being a Calcuttan, he gave 100% to cricket, and he brought this to this level. That
Absolutely.
cricket, the way he marketed cricket, he gave time. He had that passion, like his son is giving whole time.
Absolutely.
That type of involvement is required. Then if you say in any sport those fly by night people comes that okay I have to be there, and then that way sports cannot develop. In that you cannot develop. If I must add, whatever it is, if Niranjan Bhai Shah has developed Saurashtra a who as a champion team, and he has one of the best stadium in Rajkot. Whatever it is, he should be given credit. So, in this type of he gave whatever he besides his business involvement. We need committed whole timer in sports, which we don't have. Whole
Absolutely.
timers. That is my one coin point which I have created.
But why did the hockey league stop? I mean, you had a Dhoni, supporting, being the co-owner of the Ranchi franchisee, and it was doing good. I
First
mean,
of all, look, three things. First of all, it didn't. There was schedule problem, where there was clashing of dates with international events. Secondly, till the time Mr. Batra was there was lots of commitment and passion. He went on running around convincing the franchisee owners. Of course, our involvement was very high. Whenever there was problem, we were there. We convinced Mr. Bonti Chadda, our chairman convinced Bonti Chadda to get involved in hockey. Then I convinced Mr. Dhoni. He came in. Then JP was there. Then Yes Bank was there. Lots of team came up. But I later on when he left the Hockey India and went to international FIH, naturally the leadership that they it lacked leadership. And besides that, that uh, the Hockey India people tried to make it lucrative by the involving the broadcasters and the franchisee owners and the sponsors. But you know the limitation of hockey. Simultaneously, there were lots of international hockey events happening in India, in Odisha, and all that. So naturally, two or three main uh, franchisee owners withdrew themselves. So they are still now thinking about to let's to start a five-a-side hockey or whatever it is. Let's hope for the best. But no doubt about it. One thing I must say, because of Hockey India League, the standard of hockey has certainly gone up. The experience which this youngster shared with his international players, because I ran the team to Uttar Pradesh Wizards, and I was also involved in as an important advisor to the Ranchi team as on the advising capacity. The way they developed, I have seen youngsters like Sumit Kumar and other youngsters, lots of Lahit Upadhyay and all that, playing with the Australian greats and the Holland great players. They really started playing that which the complete hockey from running from the D area to the attacking area, then again coming back to the D area. I have seen them developing in front of my own eyes. So that way, it has really enhanced the standard of hockey in India.
That's the magic of these IPL style hockey, IPL style badminton tournament, IPL style wrestling tournament, Kabaddi League is doing well because you're getting to rub your shoulder, against because the top quality players, top international players. But post Corona pandemic, how do you see the sponsorship in sports? Will it the level will go down? Will it go up? Will it be static? How do you see it? What are the challenges?
Presently, in the present scenario, it has certainly gone down because businesses are not doing well. It's a very alarming situation, and now even the individuals players who are training, their training is getting affected, who are getting support by the corporate people and all that. So naturally, our organization is also dragged into some legal problems. So naturally, we have to re-discuss our priorities. So that same problem with us. So I think the sponsorship will come down. That you have seen, I think, in front of your own eyes, the IPL sponsorship, the way Vivo ran away, and the new sponsors have come for a far lesser amount, and Vaiju got the sponsorship, but they subleased it to other other team. They didn't continue it, the Indian team sponsorship. And in the celebrity field also, Dhoni has retired, but still his value is still there. Virat Kohli, all these things, their value, their offers are also coming down in the present scenario because you cannot, of course, it's not, as far as the star players are concerned, not drastically, but it will certainly come down. That is already coming down by being involved in helping out with some other big corporate in getting Dhoni hired. So, in that way, also, I can say that scenario is as far as sponsorship is concerned, cricket maybe they will get all these online platforms and they are ready to do. But I think IPL will also will is having problem or lots of sponsors, small time sponsors, medium sponsors have ran away from the team, although they are getting money from broadcasting revenue. But I'm telling you, during our time also, because from 2008, 11, 12, slowly the sponsorship rates were coming down. And now the scenario is far different. It is quite worrisome. So
Why was it coming down that time?
because there are more teams, more opportunities,
Yeah, yeah,
and and look, because one thing you have to realize, because of IPL, the celebrity management thing has gone.
yeah,
Because now if
yeah.
you
Actually, yeah.
because now if you
Individual
are
sponsorship, you have to be a really big star like Virat Kohli or a Dhoni to
but
get.
after that there is no scene.
There's
Even
no star.
that
There's no.
also what they are doing it, that if you are giving 2 crores for a small sponsor in the leg or wherever it is, on the shoulder, whatever it is, and they get two or three players for display for all through the year. That is done. So why should they invest on a player for
Individuals. Yeah,
2 days and 3 days in a year?
yeah.
So the celebrity management field is gone. So slowly and actually, event came. As I told you, Sahara Cup was the I can claim, because through Sahara Cup, ESPN channel was launched. That was the craze. People did strike when ESPN was not shown. ESPN asked for some enhance their fees and all that. So they did strike because we want to see the Sahara Cup. That was the craze of Sahara Cup, because that we did the first international event at that point of time of bringing into international teams and doing an event abroad. And then comes IPL, and wherever you want, whenever you are, if you have accessibility of the players, doing creating promos for the players. So the field of celebrity management was finished. One or two players existed with their own company because they were superstars. Three players: um, Virat Kohli, Dhoni, PV Sindhu, maybe Sachin Tendulkar to an extent, a little bit Rohit Sharma.
Please don't
And
look Rohit Sharma out. He'll be really upset.
yeah, now it is Rohit Sharma, but I think he
Yes,
will go up, because
absolutely.
actually he is the next superstar in the making. What I
Absolutely.
feel.
Those four, 500s in the World Cup. Well, India didn't win though. But Abhijit sir, thanks a lot. It was really so enriching talking about sports, and you know so much. You've been seeing Indian sport from 90s, from early 90s, as early as early
It's
90s.
25 years in sports. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's you
I
see
entered the sports arena
five.
when there was no sports management. I did from sports award to uh, events, and I think one most biggest claim I can make is that I was person who brought in the India Pakistan team to Lucknow at Sahara Shah. They stayed 1 year. They came again. Next year they wanted to come. I came come here and stay. And we did an event in which Dhoni, Yuvraj, Srisant,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. That was
So
quite a
that
small
also,
event.
so lots. I've been lucky, and I'm. It's God has been kind that the events which we have done in sports is extraordinary, which has never happened. I don't know if it will happen in future or not.
We hope it happens because you know sports will have to remain in our life. That gives us livelihood after all. So you can't
That
take sports.
that sports kida will keep it alive. I hope.
Absolutely. You know, we all love the sport. That is the main mission we have when we do anything in life. You know, be it sports journalism or anchoring a show talking about the sport. And that's why our focus in SK Live is to ensure we are not only promoting cricket, we are promoting all sports, no matter what, and getting
That I'm
the
seeing. That I must kudos to you, the way you have brought it up, and now all over the place people are speaking about SK Live.
no, it's a lovely initiative that we have taken, and we hope to bring more perspective on the game on different sports. And it was really pleasure, you know, having you as a
Please
guest.
highlight the troubles of the sports people also, which they are facing nowadays.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was really a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All the best. All the best
Thank
to SK Live and all the best to you too.
thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you. And
Thank you.
stay safe, stay happy, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good